All right. Well, I hope everybody is doing well. I'm Mike Aldworth. I'm a Spanish teacher, but I'm also in charge of the whole modern languages department at Leyden. So we teach 3 languages here. And I'm going to start sharing my screen so that you can see everything that I'm saying, so you know exactly what it is and what we're doing. All right. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. That usually is the best way to do it. Or if you want to hang on until the end, I also will include my email as well as a phone number. If anybody would like to talk that way, that's totally fine. So welcome. I know all of you are parents now, of the class of 2026. So sounds to me like a crazy number because that'll be my 30th anniversary, I guess, from graduation myself from high school. So just sounds like such a big number now. But as I said, I'm Mike Aldworth and I'm in charge of the language classes here at Leyden. Wanted to let you know we do offer French, Italian, and Spanish as our 3 languages. Excuse me, I'm going to be admitting a few other people here. Okay. If you don't hear everything, feel free to drop a question in the chat, and then hopefully we can get all this answered as we go. You'll see some of the benefits that you can see here is if you already speak a language, learning French or Italian could be a really good opportunity for your student to become even trilingual or multilingual. There are some things here that we do really well at Leyden as far as making sure we focus on the students and where they're at, really to help them. You'll see that in Italian and French, we have levels 1, 2, 3, and then we have 4, which is in honors and an AP course in order to give your students credit for college. And that could be credit at Triton, at a community college, credit when they go on to a 4-year university, any sort of college credit that they might be looking for in the future. But the other part that is really nice is all of these other kind of green stars here about better communication skills, better cultural understanding. They've actually shown that learning another language leads to higher ACT and SAT scores, more job opportunities, and we also have some travel opportunities that are highly supported by the district. So we have found ways to keep costs at a minimum for some of those trips. Obviously, given the current situation of the world right now, we're pausing on all of those things. But since we're talking about your students who will be freshmen next year, hopefully they'll have some time during their 4 years with us to go and travel somewhere. A couple other things then about being bilingual and actually multilingual, because I'm sure many of you probably speak another language at home already, which is great. But some of the things that they talk about is you actually can become a better problem solver. You have a better memory. Students who speak multiple languages have better listening skills and are actually better at multitasking. Part of that is from what your brain is doing all the time in needing to code switch back and forth from Spanish to English, French to English, whatever might happen to be. Okay. As I mentioned, we do like to talk about a 4-year sequence. So the French and Italian one are kind of a standard 1, 2, 3, 4. The Spanish one is one where for your students, if they're at Mannheim right now, which I know a lot of students start at Mannheim and then end up with us at West Leyden, we are actually in the process of getting them into the right class. So a lot of them took a placement test with their teacher just 2 or 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago, let's say, right before winter break started. And we're actually in the process of placing them into the correct level. And then you can see we have quite a few options for them with Spanish. Sort of the typical route is like a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of the typical route. If you're in a 1 heritage or a 2 heritage, you also can follow the same path of being in 3 or then 4. We have many students place all the way up into a level 4 even as freshmen. And I teach the AP class. And I have a considerable amount of sophomores this year as well. So it's really nice because we're able to push the students a little bit more to where they're capable of doing this. That's the part that's really nice. And then you'll see here, we got a few other classes. We like to get this AP Spanish language because again, it gives them college credit. It's a rigorous course, and it gets them ready for some of the other challenging courses that they'll take here at Leyden. But then you can see we also do a Spanish and Latin American film class, and then a Latin American pop culture as well. So these are two new classes that we're trying to get started, and we're hoping that with enough information out about them, the students will be excited and interested in taking it. So again, I've kind of mentioned the benefits of taking a language. Number one, college requirement. A lot of you are looking about getting into college, and people kind of think the standard 2 years is really all you need to get into schools. If you're looking at being accepted to maybe a more challenging school, a higher echelon of a school, then maybe a level 3 or level 4 is a good way to go. You'll also see we have clubs, honor societies. There's lots of trips, different activities that we can do throughout the year. And again, obviously, COVID is putting a damper on that, but we'll keep going as best we can with that. You can get AP college credit. The seal of biliteracy is also something that will be on a student's diploma. If they already speak another language, it's a really easy way for them to get it. What happens is after the freshman, sorry, I just got a message from my principal. After their junior year, when they take the SAT, based on their English score, will help let us know if they are able to achieve the seal of biliteracy in their other language. So a lot of times this happens with Spanish, and they can either take the seal of biliteracy test or take the AP test, as I mentioned before. The other two parts, as I mentioned, you do have higher standardized test scores for students who speak another language, and also better communication skills. Okay. It says my internet connection is unstable. I hope this still works. Hopefully you can still hear me. If not, just put something in the chat and let me know there. Again, French and Italian are going to look very, very similar, as far as French and Italian being kind of like a level 4, but you can also get college credit for the AP class. Okay. I don't want to make you late for your next session, so I'm going to just kind of run through again, level 1 through 4 in Italian, and then AP can get you college credit. Summer trip that we're hoping to continue as well. And then you'll see Spanish. We have a couple new classes here. Like I said, it's Latin American pop culture, Spanish and Latin American film. Trying to get some of those students who maybe aren't interested in the more rigorous classes, writing essays and reading a lot of very challenging literature. They can go ahead and try to take these classes. Okay, so I wanted to thank you for your time, and just let you know that it is 7:20 right now, so I believe you're supposed to go to the next session. If anybody just joined in, feel free. I'm just going to take a minute pause, and then I'll start up again. But again, I'm Mike Aldworth. This is my phone number if you need to leave me a voicemail. Typically, with teaching and meetings and all that sort of stuff, I'm not always in the office by my desk, but you can leave a voicemail and give me a number and I'll call you back. Otherwise, email is certainly the best way to reach me. Maldworth, so it's M and then my whole last name, Aldworth, @Leyden212.org. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great night.